went to jail if he say that, man, my rappy did that. Let's tell him.
Show your face. Show your face, please, with sugar on top.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. Now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, as y'all know, the annual who's a snitch, he's a snitch, because he put this body on this one conversation then came up once again, y'all. One thing I can say, you know, seeing certain people reply to certain things, especially involving this topic, has made me like look at people differently. And I'm gonna tell you why, man, because it seems like these days the rules get bent, the rules of the streets get bent depending on who it's, you know, targeted. And I'm trying to be very careful with my words because, like I said, I be trying to be political on this YouTube stuff because I see that that's how it is on here, because everybody's changing the rules. You know, coming up, let me tell y'all one thing. When it comes to the streets, coming up in the streets, it was always one way. It was never, oh, well, this may not be this because this is that. No, it's one way. Coming up, it was, if you did this, then this is the consequences. You know, if you did this, this is the consequences. But these days, it's like, well, if such and such do this, and he put it on them, and maybe if this was, then it was never like that. And this is why I always tell y'all, especially for y'all kids out there that's glorifying the streets, just know, get out them streets before it's too late. Because you thinking it's one way, next thing you know, you get caught up in a situation and you find out that it's nowhere near what you thought it was, but at that point, it's way too late. You know, and a lot of guys done got caught up in the streets like that. And like I said, by that time, you're facing 10 years, 12 years, 15, 20, and it's over. So shout out to Tay Savage, shout out to King AK-47, shout out to Truth Teller TV. This is where that audio actually came from. If y'all want the full one, go over to Truth Teller TV. I'm gonna leave a link pinned in the comments so y'all can check the full audio out on his page. However, I'm gonna play a little clip and then we're gonna talk about it. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not already, and make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm. Now check this audio out.
If I say two do a case, right?
Yeah.
Two do a case. Bam. Now one could get killed in the midst of doing a case. They kill him, but one get killed. Now all the evidence kind of points toward the that got killed. Right. So if that survivor went to jail, if he say that, man, my rappy did that, let's tell him.
You say if the nigga did it,
the rappy did. The rappy did. He like, man, my rappy did all. I ain't do nothing.
Nah, that ain't telling. Nah, to me that ain't telling, folks. Cause I look at it like this, folks. If I'm in jail, folks, and I can get out, folks, I put it on dead money. Hell yeah, because you wouldn't want me to put it on you.
Now, in a nutshell, with the whole allegations about THF Bayzoo and Little Durk putting that whole situation on King Von, in which they caught all together when it was him, Hella Bands, King Von, and Little Durk, you know, things are starting to get crazy because people are now questioning what's snitching. And this is a thing that has already came up plenty of times before, but it keeps coming up because, once again, snitching was usually one way at one point in time. So at the end of the day, now people are saying that, you know, putting a body on somebody that's deceased is not considered snitching. But you have people that feel that it is. So it's a little gray area where you feel some people think that it is, some people think that it isn't. Now, once again, like I always tell y'all in these videos, I don't really throw that snitch word around too loosely because coming up, that's just something you don't do. And if you did, you better either be ready to take a life or ready to lose yours, because that's a serious allegation. So I try not to say anybody's a snitch. However, what I do is I like to put it on y'all and y'all tell me. Now, moral of the story is Tay Savage was on live with King AK-47 and a couple other guys, and he put it out there, right? He put the question, he said, well, if I'm inside jail and me and my Cody, we pretty much caught a body together, but somehow, some way in the process of us, you know, going to trial or going back and forth to court, my Cody loses his life. And then when he loses his life, we pretty much put the body on him. Now, was that considered snitching? Now, one of Tay Savage's affiliates or whoever was on that live, I don't know who it was, to be honest, but whoever was on the live, he said, no, it's not considered snitching, because if I have the opportunity to get out of jail by putting it on you and you're not here, then it's just a smart thing to do because you're not here. Now, King AK-47 being him, he came out and said, nah, you sit in jail. Don't put nothing on me, right? Now, once again, there's both sides of the spectrum. Some people feel it's a smart thing to do. Some people feel that it's still considered snitching because you still put a crime, you still put a body on somebody. Now, let me tell y'all this, right? When it comes to the technicality of cooperating, you're never supposed to put anything on anybody. When it comes to the technicality of snitching or cooperating, it's when you offer information to the police about somebody else with knowledge of a crime. That's the technicality of it. Now, here's the part where I think people get confused, because some people get, is it a smart thing to do, confused with, is it actually cooperating? That's two different things, because it may be the smart thing to do, but it's still considered cooperating. You see what I'm saying? It's pretty much two different things. Now, if you ask somebody, is it a smart thing to do because you're not going to receive jail time? Yes. Anybody in the streets might tell you, if they're in that situation, they'll say, yes, it's a smart thing to do because instead of me receiving all this jail time, we could put it on somebody who's no longer here that's not going to do no time anyway. But once again, is it considered cooperating and is it considered a smart idea is two different things. Now, to be honest with y'all, another reason why I never really judge in a situation like that is because who knows? It's easy for us to sit here and be like, well, I wouldn't do that because I'm a man and I would never. It's easy to say that. But when you in a situation like that, where you fighting for your life, when the lawyer talking about, well, listen, they talking about 25 to life. You like, well, man, like I said, I don't know. I can't say. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate, because it's easier for somebody to say something they would do if they never been in that situation, and I hate when people do that. However, like I said, it's still cooperating. That's if you want to go on the technical term, right? Now, another thing I think why this whole thing is blown out of proportion is because if they was to come out and not make it so much a secret, or if guys was to just admit like, yeah, I did X, Y, and Z, people wouldn't really care. But it's the fact, I think that people are trying to hide it, or people are trying to make it seem like, oh, nah, I don't do that, or just be real. If you was to just be real, I don't think this would be as big as it's become. Because guess what? T.I. came out and openly admitted that he put a crime or a body or something like that on his deceased cousin. He said it like it was nothing, and people forgot about it just like that. Nobody even talks about it no more. But I think it's the fact that this keeps being a recurring issue because these guys keep acting like it didn't happen. But one thing we can't shy away from is the information that we received from the prosecutors that said, listen, if King Von was still here, he would have been the one that would have went down for the whole situation. And that's unexplainable. Like I said, I can't say who did what. All I can say is, all I can go off of is what we was told, and something ain't right. We just gonna leave it at that. Something ain't right. So I pretty much want to hear what you guys got to say. How do y'all feel about this? Like I said, this is a reoccurring thing. It's like every other month, this conversation comes out about people putting bodies on other guys. And I think it's a big topic of discussion because you always have people that feel differently. You have some saying it's not snitching. You got some people saying that it is. You got some people that saying, well, it's just a smart move. Whether it's snitching or not, it's a smart thing to do. And, you know, that's okay to feel like that. But like I said, you can't shy away from it not being cooperating because in technical terms, you're still putting a crime on somebody. Now, matter of fact, before I even get off here, King AK-47 actually brought up a good point while he was on live with 16 Shot on the other night, right? He referenced a time when he says there was a guy who lost his life and his Codies put the body on him, although he wasn't the one that did it. However, they figured since he was deceased, why not blame it on him, because it's a smart thing to do, right? But someone wanted revenge for that person that lost their life. So the guy who was seeking revenge looked up information on the guy who the body was blamed on, found out where his mother and sister was, got the address and numbers, found out where they stayed, and ended up taking the life of the guy's mother and his sister. Now, I kind of paraphrased it, but that was the concept. Now, that's a good point to make because, once again, I've expressed this in plenty of videos. You don't know how people are going to gravitate to losing a loved one. You don't know how they're going to react. Some people could let it go, but some people will want revenge so they can make someone feel the same pain that they felt. You see what I'm saying? So blaming a body or crimes period on someone innocent just because they're deceased isn't a harmless move. You may think it is because you may not be affected, but others are. It's just like fraud when they tell you that it's not a harmless crime, and truthfully it's not. But you think it's harmless because you don't see who's affected. But whether you can physically see it or not, someone is being affected. And I think that's like the same correlation as blaming a crime, body, or whatever it is on someone that's deceased. And personally, I think these guys be knowing that. But let's be real, man. Depending on who it is and, you know, these guys and their affiliation and everything, everyone's going to have different outlooks depending on who it's about. You know, because I thought this was a no-brainer, but still, it seemed like month after month after month, this is still a topic of conversation. You know, so obvious it's room for some type of opinions, and everybody has one. So y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm gonna keep on dropping. And I'm out.